The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different, it is the Sportsocracy. It's a Tuesday morning, and we've got football to cover from last night. Not quite the game that you expected, I don't think. I mean, I watched some of the game. It didn't feel like it set the game back 15 years like you said it was going to, Jeremy. However, one side of the ball did. The Jacksonville Jaguars offense, sure, I'll buy that. However, Jameis Winston, he looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, you want to start with the good or the bad? Because there were both last night.
Let's start with the good.
That's going to be a much shorter conversation.
I think Jameis Winston has earned a little good airtime on this here program.
As somebody that is currently beholden in a very expensive league to Justin Fields, Jameis Winston, and Jimmy Garoppolo, I felt real good walking away from last night. Like, I have one. I may not have two, but I have one.
You have one quarterback, 9 of 10, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, both the touchdowns, long shots down the field to Marquez Callaway, who's he's going to be just fine. Marquez Callaway is a guy that should no longer go undrafted in any fantasy football league. I think he is going to have just a fine year. With him, between him and Traquan Smith and eventually Mike Thomas coming back, Jameis Winston does have some toys to play with. I know you don't like Traquan Smith, but I mean he's a good I wouldn't say Robin to the Batman. He's a good Batgirl. Let's call him Batgirl.
Traquan Smith?
Traquan Smith. He's
I want to see you call him Batgirl to his face. I would give $406 to watch you call Traquan Smith Batgirl to his face.
There's not another one. Alfred, would that be better?
Alfred would be considerably better, yes.
But he can't. I mean, that's Sean Payton. Sean he's the coach. He calls the shots off the field. Marquez Callaway showed out last night. 2 big touchdown catches. Jameis Winston, no doubt, has this job. Sean Payton is a smart man, and if he can't see what the rest of us are seeing, then maybe he's drunk. Or Kevin James has taken his place and we didn't know.
Yeah, I genuinely want Sean Payton to stop lying to cameras because it really pisses me off. If you don't know that Jameis Winston's the better quarterback in that quarterback room, you're not as good at this as I thought you were. So let's just cut the bullshit. Yeah, Taysom's going to have his little role. He ain't starting for this team. Jameis Winston's the starter week 1. Rob Johnson said it was a preseason game against the Jaguars. Settle down. I don't disagree with you. There were a couple really high-level throws. Mm-hmm. That touchdown to Marquez Callaway was a high-level throw. It was a high-level throw. It was a high-level decision. And I'm going to be honest with you. From Jameis Winston, that's the number one thing I worry about. I never worried about how good his arm was. Mm-hmm. I worried about how smart he was and how he could avoid turnovers and bad decisions, and that's what I saw. I think my first spicy hot take, Jameis Winston's a quarterback 1 in fantasy football, and I don't even think it's all that debatable.
Wow. I don't know if I'd be willing to go quarterback 1. Top 12 in the league seems kind of a stretch, but yeah, not really.
The 3 years as a starter for Tampa Bay, he finished 15th, 17th, and 18th. Mm-hmm. That was throwing 417 interceptions.
Right.
Cut down the interceptions, and where are you going to be? Back into quarterback 1. If Michael Thomas comes back in week 4 and you have Thomas and Marquez Callaway with please God let Adam Troutman be okay, and Alvin Kamara, with that arm, Do you know who quarterback 12 was last year?
I do not.
I know who I think it was, but I don't want to say it and be wrong.
Kirk Cousins?
That's not the name I had in mind. Nope, I was right. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
That's exactly who I thought it was.
Okay.
You're telling me Jameis Winston can't be better than Derek Carr?
Oh, 100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's a quarterback 1 in fantasy football. And this is one of those that you're going to get him way too late because Sean Payton won't stop lying to you. Mm-hmm. He has a brain. He's a good coach. That's the starter, no doubt about it.
Right. Can't wait till Jameis throws those downfield in the NFC South for all those pick sixes.
I don't think that's coming. I know what you look. I saw it too. I've seen all of the things. I just don't think it's coming. I think the Sean Payton in this offense, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to say something that I can't believe I'm about to say out loud. I'm not sure that Jameis Winston at this point is not a better quarterback than Drew Brees was last year. That throw dirt on the Saints thing, I don't know that that's accurate.
I think the arm talent is better because we knew Drew Brees' arm talent.
He couldn't push it down the field.
I know.
It was dink and dunk and just don't turn the ball over and get it to Kamara. And I don't see that with Jameis. Mm-hmm. And Callaway is that dude.
I mean, I would say Jameis Winston's arm talent has been better than Drew Brees' for probably 4 years.
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't disagree with you. It was just the decision making was so bad.
Exactly.
Now the arm talent is so much better, and he has so much better of an ability to push the ball down the field that I think it kind of gives this offense something. And here's spicy take number 2. I threw dirt on the Saints way too early.
Yes, you did.
I threw dirt on them way too early.
I think their starting unit is fine. I mean, they still have a great offensive line. They'll still be able to run the ball. They'll take their shots down the field with Jameis Winston. This is going to be a pretty efficient offense, I do believe, especially when they all get, when they get healthy and get everybody back after, 4 or 5 weeks of the season, however long it's going to take for Michael Thomas to come back. What did happen to Adam Troutman? I saw that he went off the field last night.
Ankle, something below about there.
Yeah.
I don't know what he hurt. I was too busy drinking shots because I have copious shares of Adam Troutman as my only fucking tight end.
Waiver wire, here you come.
Yeah, it's okay. Irv Smith's still out there in a lot of leagues. I'll happily, you know what? I'll throw one dart asunder and go get another.
Right. There's another one I'm going to suggest you get later on in the program, but let's keep talking about last night's game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are god-awful. Their entire team sucks. Their first unit in 2 preseason games has scored 3 friggin' points. That's it. They haven't been able to move the ball well. Trevor Lawrence is running for his life on every play. It looks very, very bad. I will say at least Trevor is showing that he can handle the pressure. There were several times last night where he had Marcus Davenport or insert Saints and defender name here in his face, and he stepped up and made a good throw. Problem is, that's a great way he's going to get killed. There was one, I think it was like a 14-yard pass to Laviska Shenault where Marcus Davenport just leveled him as soon as he threw the ball or got the ball out of his hands. Again, shows great poise to be able to get, to deliver that football on time and get it to your receiver down the field for a first down. However, you're not being protected on the backside of that play. And that's a danger zone for a rookie quarterback. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year because we've already talked about how his offensive line is not good. And I don't know that Urban Meyer really has it in him.
He does. And he had bitter beer face all night long.
Yeah, to one, make the adjustments, or two, to go out and get somebody. I keep thinking of Russell Okung sitting out there like he would help this team.
No, he's committed. And last night, look, I know I've thrown a lot of shade at Urban Meyer. It's an accumulation of things like you saw last night. All right, so you put Trevor Lawrence out there with the intention of him playing a half or whatever the intent was going in. Cam Robinson does not play. Jawan Taylor has been absolutely run through like a hot knife through butter. So what do? You put Walker Little at left tackle. Walker Little, a guy that has not played a competitive game of football in 2 years. Walker Little, that I told you in the pre-draft process could be a good right tackle in the NFL, but was never going to be a left tackle because his feet aren't good enough. That's what you put him behind. With Marcus fucking Davenport on the other side. Do you see how stupid that is when you say it out loud? Mm-hmm. And this is just an acceleration of things that Urban keeps doing because he thinks he's smarter than everybody. And he's not. Rob Johnson said earlier, he's Chip Kelly 2.0. Bingo. And I'm going to make another spicy hot take. He won't make it through this year. Mm-hmm. Urban Meyer will not be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars by the end of this year because this is going to go disastrously bad.
I agree. I think you could make the case today to put him on the list of the shortest tenured NFL head coaches of all time. And I think he should be tied for second on that list. I tried to quiz Jeremy about this earlier today, and I was shocked that he didn't get the number one answer.
Because I put it out of my brain because it didn't happen.
The number one answer for the shortest tenured NFL head coach of all time is Bill Belichick. He spent 1 day as the head coach of the New York Jets.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Number 2 on the list of shortest tenured head coaches of all time, George Allen, 1977 Los Angeles Rams. He made it 2 preseason games. If they had somebody with a brain that was in charge of this thing down in Jacksonville, they would tie that record. They would tie this with the guy with the shortest tenured head coach with actual head coaching duties.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a travesty. This whole thing is a disaster. We're not going to focus on Jacksonville too much because,
Why would you?
We've covered this. This is not new information, but it's every bit as bad as we thought it was, if not worse.
Yes.
It might be worse than I thought it was.
I don't know about worse than I thought it was because I didn't think they were going to be good anyway. At this point, maybe I'll go from them having 2 wins this season to having 1 win. And they split with Houston rather than sweeping that series.
I've never seen an NFL game where both teams lost. If it was ever going to happen, it would be the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, they both lose. It's like some Madden glitch where they, by the way, serenity now.
What happened?
There's a glitch in the new Madden.
Okay.
You play franchise games, everything goes hunky-dunky. Then you get back to the main screen, and all of your stats have been wiped.
Oh, no.
So you play a whole game for nothing. I didn't notice it at first, and then I did. And I got real pissed off. And I came this close to breaking everything in my house last night. But I didn't. I put the controller down, I turned on Fortnite, and I killed a bunch of motherfuckers. And I felt better.
But what is the point of that? Why is that such a bad thing? Like,
because you played the whole game and you lost. You beat the
lost.
hell. Yeah, you have nothing. No yards, no points, no not shit.
Okay, I got
Everything
you.
they did still counts. I beat the hell out of the Miami Dolphins and still lost. Bullshit. Actually, I didn't lose. I tied because I shut them out and it was 0-0.
Damn, you didn't even score?
Bullshit.
Is it that hard? Is this year's version that hard?
I will happily run a stream of me versus you, and when I hit 100, we can end.
No,
and that'll be in the second quarter.
Oh, stop that. We've already played once, and you didn't beat me that
this
bad.
one's markedly different. You haven't played in 2 years.
No, I
got news
haven't.
for you. It's different.
I haven't played since, who was that was on the cover of that one? Juju?
Pat Mahomes. Was that the
Pat
one that we
Mahomes.
played was Pat Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, we're going to give you
they had made the game that hard.
We're going to give you 2 absolute ways to compete with us later in this show. If anybody wants to come get that smoke on Madden, you just you know how to get a hold of me.
You should put your gamer tag up there.
I will. It's I am the machine. It's I am _ the machine.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you want to come get that smoke? Feel free. The only person in this chat that's going to have anything on me smoke-wise is Pat Holt, because I saw those ribs they did over the weekend. Some bitch. Pat Holt posts pictures of food, and I just immediately go, like, I have to go leave and go to Wendy's. They did some barbecue contest. He can say what it was in the comments.
Yeah.
Everything they posted looked fucking delicious.
Holt Brothers Barbecue, man. That's where it's at.
Bingo.
Jacksonville's going to be bad, and Trevor Lawrence, I just hope he doesn't get killed.
And I'm getting worried about that.
I mean,
I'm more worried about Trevor Lawrence this year than I was Joe Burrow last year.
You look at the second game of the season, they got Denver in the second game of the year. And then they get Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt in Arizona in week 3. Yeah, I'm not really worried about pass rushers for the next few games, but then they go through a stretch of Buffalo, Indianapolis, San Francisco, the L.A. Rams. It's going to get pretty tough. And
It's going to be ugly.
He could be, as you like to say, DMP dead.
Yeah. DMP can't walk. DMP doctor's orders.
Travis Etienne has a Lisfranc injury, apparently. He was seen on crutches last night after the game. And as we all know, Lisfrancs, they stick around for a while.
You know what I immediately thought? James Robinson take. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to tell you. Not that I knew he was going to get hurt,
right,
but James Robinson should never have been falling in fantasy drafts where he did. Lisfranc injury is going to bug you all year long. Yep. It will. It's going to bug you all year long. I'm not saying that he won't play. I hope he's okay. You know, I'm not trying to say anything nefarious here. What I am saying is that this is going to be a problem all year long.
Only had 2 touches last night. Didn't do a damn thing with either one of them. As the offense, like I said, is god-awful. Most of the points scored by the Jacksonville Jaguars in this preseason have all come in the fourth quarter, where all the scrubs are out there playing. And the starters have accumulated 3 points in the first 3 quarters of the preseason.
Yep, they're DMP bad. Just, good Lord, that team's awful.
It is indeed. Any other notes from last night's preseason showdown between Jacksonville and the New Orleans Saints?
I'm curious to see what Jacksonville's offense looks like with DJ Chark. I wonder if he's as far down the depth chart as I'm starting to think he is.
You think it's pecking order as Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, and then DJ?
That's exactly where I think it is, yeah. That's exactly where I think it is. Everything I've heard, it has nothing to do with the fact he hadn't played.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with the fact that I've heard him and Urban just, they don't necessarily see eye to eye. And that
but the only way,
stupid.
But the only way the coach can really, I guess, affect that would be to not put him out on the field.
That's my fear.
I mean, it depends on his relationship with Trevor, how Trevor feels about
that's
it.
my fear.
Is that
Chark is going to see 35 to 40% of the staff here. I'll be honest with you. I would not be comfortable if I was drafting a league right now. I don't think I could take DJ Chark in a round that didn't have double digits. Wow. And feel even half-ass confident in it.
Yeah.
He would be the 3rd Jaguars receiver that I would take. I would take him behind Marvin Jones.
And that's crazy because Marvin Jones is going behind all of them.
Yeah. Marvin Jones is one of those value guys that I just keep winding up with in draft.
14th, 15th round, Marvin Jones still on the board. He could be the security blanket that Trevor Lawrence leans on. He is the veteran in this offense, and they don't have a tight end for the rookie to lean on.
Kelvin Joyner just asked a really good question.
Okay.
Who's the most mismanaged quarterback in NFL history? He said RG3. I don't disagree with you, but that was a lot of bad luck. No, he shouldn't have played in the playoff game. Yes, I understand why he did. I always thought that Washington got too much shit for that.
Yeah.
I get why the kid wanted to play in the playoff game. I mean, looking at it down the line, did it cost you way more than it? Yes, but I still get it. Most mismanaged, I can't get away from Ryan Leaf. I mean, that's the name in my head. I mean, we're a little older than a lot of you, so you may or may not remember exactly how the Ryan Leaf thing went down. It was a disaster.
How would it have been different? How could it have been?
Because the Chargers were a laughingstock, joke. I mean, he was fighting with teammates. They wouldn't stop putting him in front of the media, and that was at a time that they didn't have to do that. They had cameras in the locker room that kept catching him doing things. It was just a travesty. You know, the bad thing is it was under Bobby Beathard, who was a phenomenal NFL personnel guy for a lot of years, but that's what he's remembered for, is Boo Boo Kitty and Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
Other than that, Joe Burrow's getting close. Joe Burrow is catching fire in that stream every day.
Yeah.
And Trevor is nipping on his heels.
I mean, I always have to go back to David Carr. We believed in the talent when he was coming out of school,
and that's
but
the thing.
He just gets killed.
I don't know that the talent was there. I never really bought David Carr, and I'm trying to remember.
As far as coaching and all of that goes, I'm not the expert on that. But, when I look at a quarterback who comes into the league and just has absolutely no shot
here's the
to
thing.
be competitive.
David Carr was the best quarterback in quite possibly the worst quarterback draft of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really put David Carr there. He was a quarterback on an expansion team. And they sunk money. And the thing about Houston is they sunk money into the offensive line. It's just Baselli never played a game. And Ryan Young stayed hurt constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they tried to protect him. They were playing with backup tackles for 2 years. So to me, that's not a mismanagement. That's really bad luck.
Yeah.
If I'm talking mismanaged, Vince Young comes to mind.
I thought that was more of just.
Oh, Vince Young was uber talented.
Yeah.
That was the day that I realized Jeff Fisher's a dumbass. As I watched him deal with Vince Young, I went, you are not nearly the coach that I thought you were.
Kelvin Joyner.
Steve McNair made you look way smarter than you are.
Kelvin Joyner says Josh Campbell comes to mind. Are you talking about Jason Campbell from the Washington Redskins? That's the only Campbell I can think of.
Josh Campbell. I would think it would have to be.
Yeah.
It would have to be Jason Campbell.
Yeah. But there
was a lot of instability on that team.
Yeah. I mean, it never had the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row. I mean, well, that's why you have a lot of apologists for Baker Mayfield right now.
Yeah.
It's because Baker Mayfield's had such instability in the coaching staff, and now that he's got Kevin Stefanski, many people believe that this is going to be the breakout year, that Baker finally shows he's a starting level quarterback.
No. There's an answer above all else. It's Andrew Luck. It's Andrew Luck, not
Andrew
close.
Luck.
You put him behind the worst offensive line in football for 6 years.
That's a great one.
And then you were shocked that he finally said, fuck this. Mm-hmm. By the way, his dad is the new de facto commissioner of the Big 12. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did not.
He's a consultant. That's a nice way of saying, Mr. Bowlesby, if you could have your office cleaned out by the end of the month, that would be tremendous.
Oliver Luck trying to save the Big 12. I didn't have that one, but as long as the check clears, his services are available. We have already learned that with the XFL.
Rob Johnson said Heath Schuler.
Yeah, Heath Schuler.
You get +3 on that because anytime you say a guy who's done our show, he was a congressman here. Nice guy.
Very nice guy. NFL career did not go very well. I don't think he had the talent for.
He was good
for an NFL quarterback.
He was good. He was just a system quarterback. And then he got to Washington, and it was not great.
Yeah.
The talent around him was not particularly good.
No, but I think Trevor Lawrence he makes a good case to be amongst this list of most mismanaged quarterbacks.
I will say this: the draft was in May.
Mm-hmm.
We're in right at September. The first 4 months, this is the worst I've ever seen. This is the worst I've ever seen a high-level quarterback like this be treated. And I mean, I can almost see it in his face. You can see the disgust on his face of, damn it, I could have been playing for Rob Salah and the Jets. No takesy-backsies, bitch.
And then you've got Urban Meyer just standing there looking clueless on the sidelines like, yeah, this is bad, and I don't know what to do.
Urban Meyer spent the entire night looking like he was trying to divide 5,218 by 406.
Yeah, it's just the immediate, it's like this. I was almost expecting him to just start like having cold sweats because he had that confused look on his face. Like, what do I do now? Mm-hmm. I am stuck in this job now, and I will not be surprised at all if he dips.
I won't either. I won't be shocked if he doesn't make it through this year. It has gone that badly. And if you remember, I've been saying that all offseason long. Mm-hmm. As soon as the thing happened with the strength and conditioning coach and all these coaches that dipped out off the initial staff, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And just all of it's bad.
We've already seen one injury replacement. The Falcons, we'll just mention that they have signed Josh Rosen. So Josh Rosen is now on his 6th team in the last 4 years.
Oh, wait.
Was
she a great big fat person?
Atlanta Falcons signed former top 10 pick. Okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I love when clickbait articles do that because I always click on them and go, oh, shut the fuck up.
Oh, you caught me. Damn it.
It's like saying this is a show with former Hollywood icon Tank Spencer.
That's right.
Who one time did a movie with Ben Stiller and had one line.
That got cut out.
That
Don't forget that part.
didn't even make it to the screen.
Don't forget that part. It got cut out. Let's talk.
Okay, you did better than I have. So.
This is very true. Yeah. How many Disney movies you been in?
I've opened for a slew of comedians that you've heard of that probably wouldn't remember me if you gave them $100 to remember me.
Right.
Probably like, was he that big leprechaun-looking fuck? That gigantic Lucky Charms leprechaun? Yeah,
Right.
I vaguely remember him.
Right. Anyhow, let's talk some spicy hot fantasy takes.
Let's do the gambling things first, and then we'll spend the last half of the show doing spicy hot takes.
The gambling things.
Yes.
Oh,
so we have two things. This is not just one thing. So I got two graphics. The first one is the charity leagues. Sorry this took so long. We've had numerous things going on, but that will be live probably an hour after the show. There will be PayPal buttons on our Facebook page. All you have to do is submit it from the email that you want it sent to. So you'll get in, as soon as you send it, it will come to me. I will send you an invite to this, and we'll start trying to schedule drafts. We don't know how many of these we're going to have. It's best ball, and it's for charity. It goes to the St. Nicholas Project with Eblin Charities here in Asheville. It's really simple. It took me forever to find a way to do this logistically without people having to pay. I didn't want to pay fees to anybody. So we have found a way to make all of that work. It took some negotiating, but we got there. So the buttons will be up on Facebook later today. Mm-hmm. So we are ready for that, and we will be doing copious amounts of best ball drafts between now and the start of the season. So.
Excellent. And again, the beneficiary of that, Eblin Charities and their St. Nicholas Project, which, if you're unfamiliar with the idea here, is basically it's a fund to give, the needy kids in our area something for Christmas.
Yeah.
Their parents can go and shop in the Ingalls toy store where everything is laid out. They get a little ticket and they can go pick out the toys that their kids want for the Christmas season. And it's something that we have supported for a long, long time.
Well, it's a cool thing because the parents can actually go shop for their children.
Yes.
As opposed to just being given something.
Yeah,
it's one of the
getting
things
a box
that we like.
says boy 8 years old.
Yeah.
Well, what if he gets a soccer ball and the kid only likes baseball?
Yeah, so they can actually go through a store that's built
Yes.
in a strip mall here in Asheville.
Yes.
And they can go shop for the kids. And Eblin is fantastic. They're completely nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
They're an A+ charity rated through all of the things. And that's the reason we picked them. So those buttons will be live on our Facebook later.
Yep.
I would say by 11:30 today.
And
because they're already done. I just have to hit.
And we finally have movement on the building your bankroll. Remember when we were talking about doing this for the basketball tournament, and it just never worked out because the site didn't get operational and everything? They've gotten the site operational.
It's operational. So we have Build Your Bankroll.
Yeah.
Versus me. Here's how this works. You can bet anything in college football, anything in pro football. But you got to beat my ass. You start with $10,000. You can allocate it any way that you want to, but you cannot spend less than $1,000 in a week. So you can't just sit on your bankroll. You have to actually keep playing.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, he can verify this. I love to bet Liberty football games. Mm-hmm. So week 1, Daddy's coming in hot. Because Nebraska and Illinois, we're going to have some doubloons on that. And there will be rebuy rules and all of those things. It is completely free for your first buy. Mm-hmm. There will only be 2 rebuys. Beyond that, it gets unfair. So if you wanted to get back in, you would be able to, and all of that money would also go to the St. Nicholas Project with Eblin.
Nice. So everybody starts out with $10,000 in fake money. And then if you spend all of your dough, you can buy back in, but it's going to cost you.
Yes, and there's another stipulation with this too. So it's Play Action Pools that's doing this. It's a new site that it's in the beta testing. They came to us. Mm-hmm. They wanted us to do some things with them. We're really excited about it. They're really cool people. So when you activate your code, of which if you look in the description, there is a link. For Play, and you just got to go and create your account, all those things. All of the coding and shit is already set up. Any money that you spend on that site, once you're attached to us through this, 10% of it will also be contributed from Play Action Pools to to the St. Nicholas Project with Evelyn Charities. So,
awesome.
Yeah, that was our little kickback from them for promoting their service and getting people on their platform.
Excellent. So we've got two ways that you can compete for a cause, for charity. We've got the competition for a college best ball leagues, several different levels of that. Again, the PayPal buttons will be up on the website shortly after this year program. And then the Build Your Bankroll Challenge, which I'm really looking forward to, because I just want to see somebody beat you.
And somebody probably will. I hope we have 1,000 people in this and 200 of them beat me. But we'll have cool prizes at the end of the year for the top 3 winners in this. You're going to have to be a little aggressive because I'm going to be. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I don't live by that old DFS theory of never spend more than 25% of your bankroll in a given week. Fuck that. You only live once. YOLO, bitches. Because I'll spend 75% of mine every week.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many games you're in on. You don't have to just pick one game. You can just only allocate the funds to one thing at one time.
So if you, let's say so this is the first week of college football season. You have 10,000 fake dollars to bet at over-unders, money lines, and spreads. You can allocate it however you want to. But if you take those $10,000, once that's bet on something, it's bet on something. So until that game ends and that is funded, which I do not know how long it takes. It'll be same day, but I don't know how long in the same day. So if you're trying to hit the 12 noon kickoff and then catch the 4 o'clock games, I can't tell you that that's going to work. I won't know until I see it.
Yeah. Excellent. And
Armchair Commentary said, can I bet Tank starts an injured player in fantasy? +3. You were getting just crucified for that Cam Akers shit.
And it was an auto pick. That was the thing. Like, time ran out, auto pick, fuck me.
Yeah, here's the thing. Good fantasy football players don't get auto picked.
No,
Anyhow.
But yeah, the link for that's in the description. You just have to go in. I think you can link it to your Facebook. You can link it to Google. I think you can do all of those things. But the contest is already set up. All of the accounting has been done. So that contest is directly linked to us and anything you do moving forward with that site. You can run your office pools through this. You can run, suicide leagues or survivor leagues or anything like that through this. It's a really cool service, and I'm going to be honest with you. These guys have been phenomenal to deal with. We mentioned that we were doing a charity event with Best Ball, and we didn't even ask for a kickback for charity. They offered it without anything. So
excellent.
That is very rare and deserves commendation when it happens.
Before we get into the spicy hot takes, let's talk about Manscaped. Support for the Sportsocracy, as always, brought to you by Manscaped.com. Use our promo code today, Sportsocracy, at Manscaped.com, and get 20% off of your purchase and get free worldwide shipping. You can join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped because they have the precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. The Lawnmower 4.0 comes with the advanced skin-safe technology that helps cut down on those little mishaps that can happen while you're trying to trim up the undercarriage. And if you've never been in that position, you're a lucky person. Because the lawnmower definitely gives me the confidence that I need to make sure that the job is not only going to be done right, but be done flawlessly.
Frankly, he now has he has scrot hubris, which I'm not a big fan of.
I do.
I've seen more of that pasty white motherfucker than I ever wanted to. And if you want to have scrot hubris, you need Manscaped.com.
Exactly. Use the promo code Sportsocracy today. Manscaped.com. Save 20% on your purchase and get free worldwide shipping. Manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Spicy hot fantasy takes for 2021. Jeremy, throw us for a loop here. What's the boldest thing?
Well, I'm not going to give you the boldest one off the top.
Okay.
My first one was Jameis Winston as a top 12, number 1 quarterback in fantasy football. No doubt.
Okay.
I have another one of those. I think the 2 rookies that don't start, Justin Fields and Trey Lance, They will be top 10 fantasy quarterbacks the last 6 weeks of the NFL season. I love having them on rosters on the assumption that I'll just make it work.
Okay.
If Justin Fields gets in, he's going to get in the lineup in Chicago. We all know that. There's no, it might be after Matt Nagy gets fired. It might be in the middle of the, I don't care. When we get to the playoff weeks, he's going to be an impact player if he's not owned in your leagues. Trey Lance will be Jalen Hurts from last year. Stat lines are not going to look good, but by God, he will be an impact player in 2 quarterback leagues, super flex leagues, anything that puts a premium on quarterbacks not throwing yards. Now, if you get bonuses for passing yards, then yeah, I don't know that I'd go the Trey Lance, Justin Fields route.
Okay.
But as long as it's a pseudo-standard PPR league, Trey Lance and Justin Fields will be top 10 NFL QB1s in fantasy football the last 6 weeks of the season.
Last 6 weeks of the season. So let's look real quick here at the schedules for these two teams. Chicago's last 6 games of the season. Detroit, at Detroit. They get Arizona, at Green Bay, Minnesota, really, at Seattle, the New York Giants, and at the Minnesota Vikings. That's a hell of a schedule.
Who has 2 thumbs and already knew that? This guy.
Last 6 games of the season for the San Francisco 49ers.
This one does not look quite as pretty.
At Seattle, at Cincinnati, Atlanta, at the Tennessee Titans. Hit that bell. You don't think that secondary is going to be banged up by the end of the year?
No, I think it's going to be better than you think.
All right, the Houston Texans and the LA Rams.
That's the problem. Is that if you go into week 17, which you shouldn't, but or week 18, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more people doing that. It's not gonna go well. I don't like that, but it's actually a better schedule than I thought it was.
Yeah, and if you talk last 6 games of the fantasy season that should end in week 17, you throw Minnesota onto that and take off the Rams. The only problem I see with that is that
they should be owned in every league.
If this team is as good as I think they're going to be, barring injury, I don't think there's going to be a quarterback change mid-season.
Let me ask you a question. Which would you rather do? All right, and I'm going to pull up. Let's go right here, and I'm going to ask you players that are going around Trey Lance. Would you rather have Rashad Penny or Xavier Jones or Trey Lance?
Trey Lance.
And it's not close. It's not even close. And he's going higher right now than he's going to because people are going to get freaked out that he's not going to get the job.
Right.
I mean, just look at now there are a few guys, Michael Gallup, Corey Davis, they're going behind him. And they're going in between him and Fields. Elijah Moore, Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton.
Wait, those two
by
guys.
The way,
wait.
T.Y. Hilton, we're going to talk about him real soon.
Wait, the 2 guys that you just said are going ahead of all those other guys that you just said?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, now you also got to remember, I'm using fantasy football calculator that it doesn't differentiate between rookie drafts and shit.
Yeah.
So it pushes it's ADP on rookies.
But I mean,
is
even in a redraft, Xavier Jones, I don't think should be anywhere near those receivers that you just mentioned.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I thought you were about to say he shouldn't be anywhere near being drafted, and I was going to buzz you.
No. I mean, he's worth a good 16th round pick, maybe, if you're in a deep league. I don't know. They keep losing running backs for the LA Rams. He might be the best one to have. Darrell Henderson, in case you missed it, he sprained his thumb, I think, and he's listed as day-to-day at the moment. But
aren't we all?
All right. Pat Freiermuth. I'm starting to get on the Pat Freiermuth train. Ben Roethlisberger throwing to Pat Freiermuth in this last preseason game looked really, really good. So I'm going to say I think that Pat Freiermuth will end up this season as a top 10 tight end.
Oh, you're serious?
Yes, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Why will he not see the run?
I disagree with you.
Why will he not see the run?
2 words: Eric Ebron.
Yeah.
He's the second tight end in this offense.
Mm-hmm. What do you think his ceiling is for catches or for catches and targets?
35.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. That much?
Rookie tight ends. Never. It's like staring at your daddy's balls. Never, ever do that. I don't care that they fall out of the dinner table. Look away. Never do this shit with rookie tight ends. I've told you this for years, and you fall for it often.
Yep.
Don't do this with rookie tight ends. T.J. Hawkinson, bag of dicks as a rookie. Noah Fant, bootsy as hell as a rookie. Those are good tight ends. Pat Freiermuth he's a good tight end. He's not an every down tight end. And people are just losing their shit. This is what we do in the preseason. They're losing their shit. This was a guy that was completely undraftable, a week ago? And now all of a sudden, what are we going to do with Pat Freiermuth? Stop. Just stop. Stop that.
I think he can get enough. I think he can get somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 catches this year.
No,
6 touchdowns, 600 yards. That'd put him top 10. Do you know who the 10th highest ranked tight end last year was in fantasy football?
Hayden Hurst.
It was Hayden Hurst. I think Pat Freiermuth can be that good.
I don't, because you're going to tell me how he's going to beat out somebody of the list I'm getting ready to give you. Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Robert Tonyan, Logan Thomas, T.J. Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, Eric Ebron, Evan Ingram, Tyler Higbee, George Kittle, Irv Smith. I like every one of those tight ends markedly better than Pat Freiermuth.
But wait a minute. What about Jacob Harris? You didn't mention him.
Jacob Harris is a dynasty grab. This is not a guy you should be drafting right now.
Okay. That's a name that I keep hearing you say over and over and over again. Just wanted to make sure. Jason
Trump said, I love how Jeremy says never draft a rookie tight end and looks at Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is A, not a tight end. B, he's a freak of fucking nature. He is, and I'll be honest with you, he's going too high. I've said that the entire time. I don't get Kyle Pitts anywhere because I'm not doing that. That's the reason I have 3 tight ends, not 4. And I love him as a player. He's going to line up as a receiver more often than people think. I'm going to stick to my guns on that, period. But now, in terms of rookie tight ends, it is universal. There's not an exception that proves the rule. Rookie tight ends never work out in the league because they're asked to do so many damn things. Even Darren Waller took, 4 years? Travis Kelce took 2 before he was, and it took 5 before he was what he is now. Kittle took 2 years. I don't do rookie tight ends ever.
Okay. I'm a believer. I'm not saying draft him high. I'm just saying I think the ceiling's pretty high for him. There's, who
of what I just said would you take him ahead of?
Tyler Higbee.
Disagree.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't buy it. I don't think he's even rosterable, if I'm being honest. In 16 round 12 team league, there's no shot I would ever draft Pat Freiermuth.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking Big Ben, his words a little too maybe out of context or going head over heels here. But when he said he reminds me a lot of a guy that we used to have here named Heath Miller, I went, yep, that was a relationship that I've benefited off greatly in fantasy football. And if he sees the same kind of things in Pat Freiermuth that he had in Heath Miller, that's going to be his new favorite little target. And Eric Ebron he's a Carolina guy, love him to death, but he has disappointed me every goddamn year he's been in the league. So I see a path for him getting quite a bit of run.
Here's the other thing that I can't wrap my head around. How many passes do you think Ben throws in 2021?
Oh God, I don't know. What's the projection?
6 and some change.
Okay.
17-game season, so you got to go up a hair. Last year, in 15 games last year, he threw 608. So I would say you're probably in the I would say you're in the 650 range because it's going to come down a little bit per game with Najee Harris. Mm-hmm. So let's say it's 650. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many targets Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju Smith-Schuster got last year?
330.
380.
Wow. Okay.
There's 380 between the three of them. So that leaves 250 to split between James Washington, Eric Ebron, Pat Freiermuth, Najee Harris, Benny Snell out of the backfield, and anybody else. I don't see anybody else winding up with more than 75 targets, and that guy's name is Eric Ebron. Mm-hmm. So, and Najee Harris is probably going to be second on the list of what I just said. I don't think the volume's going to be there. Unless you think Ben's going to throw for 6,000 yards, Pat Freiermuth is I'm going to let somebody else do that.
Yeah. I just searched best rookie tight end seasons.
There's one that's far above the rest.
There's one that's far above the rest. Do you know who it is?
No, I don't.
No, you don't, because it's way before your time. Mike Ditka in 1961, he set the tight end record at 1,100 yards receiving.
I was kind of talking in fantasy football terms, so I don't think
Jeremy
I don't think there's a lot of fantasy football in Mike Ditka's day.
Yeah.
Considering you had to track it on an abacus.
If you're talking about in the fantasy football era, Jeremy Shockey in 2002 was at 894. The closest one next to him is Evan Ingram in 2017 when he had 722 yards. Dan Carlson. That's one. Dan Carlson would be third on that list in the fantasy football era. From 2008 when he had 627. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not projecting a whole lot of yards for him this year. What I am saying is that I think he can score some touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good on Pat Freiermuth.
All right, what hot take do you have next?
This one's going to piss some people off, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Every year, a first-round running back disappoints. Mm-hmm. Every year. It's universal. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry's the one that will do it this year. He's the one that's going to poop in your punch bowl.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey's coming off the injury last year. I don't really think there's much of a risk of re-injury. His workload's going to be dumb. Mm-hmm. Love Dalvin Cook. I love Alvin Kamara, especially now that I've seen what I've seen in Jameis Winston. I still buy Jonathan Taylor. I still buy Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. That only leaves one guy.
Saquon Barkley. He's mine.
It depends.
If I had to go on,
he's going in the second round way more often than. In sharp leagues, he falls to the back end of the first round, beginning of the second round.
Yep.
I've seen Derrick Henry go at 2. Mm-hmm. I'm good. The workload's just insane.
Now, he will have – I am with O.J. Simpson on this one. I think he's going to have another 2,000-yard season this year. I don't see him slowing down any.
What's my rule on running backs? They start at what number?
At 2,000 carries?
No,
or 2,000
2,000 is where you fall off the cliff. It's 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah, where's Derrick Henry at? He had 1,300.
Okay. I don't buy it. I mean, barring injury, and I don't like to project injuries. So I think he's going to be fine.
That's 100% what I'm doing.
I mean, Derrick Henry is.
I'm projecting you're going to break down. You cannot be a 6'3". Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Name me a running back that reminds you body frame of Derrick Henry. There aren't many.
Oh, God. Jerome Bettis?
Bettis wasn't as tall as him.
No. But he was.
There's only one I remember.
Wise.
There's only one I can even vaguely remember.
Alexander?
Christian Okoye.
When
did he break down?
Same time.
Right now.
27 years old.
1,200 carries. Yeah. No, he was 31.
Oh, okay.
But he also didn't start playing until he was 26. Mm-hmm. I love Christian Okoye.
Yeah.
If I could have one thing for this studio, it would be a Christian Okoye jersey. Because he's my favorite non-Jet of all time.
Mm-hmm. I don't see it for Derrick Henry. He is a monster. And he's just resilient as hell. He might be the most resilient running back I've ever seen in the NFL. You can stack the box against him, and it does not matter. He's still going to average 5.5 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. I'm out on that one. If there's one running back in the first round that is going to disappoint you, I'm going Saquon Barkley. Because, I mean, I get in sharp leagues he's dropping, but in damn near every
him
other
and
league,
Zeke, those you just don't see them go that high. The only other one that I didn't mention would be Nick Chubb, and I'll be honest with you, I have some reservations about him as well. Still taking him. Still got him in several leagues.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have.
Does it have to do with health?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes, it does. I look at a 17 game schedule, all of the things, and I look at guys like Derrick Henry that get the ball astronomical amount of times. Mm-hmm. I mean, astronomical amount of times.
Right. Okay.
And eventually it's going to get you.
I would be on the other side of Ezekiel Elliott. I don't have any qualms with Ezekiel Elliott. And in fact, I think he's probably one of my candidates to surpass what I think he's going to be able to do this year.
I don't have a problem with Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, I thought you just said that he was one of the ones you had concerns about.
In sharp leagues, he's going to the back end of the first, beginning of the second. So I didn't count him into. Him and Saquon didn't get counted into the first round bust category.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
The 2020-2021 season. How many touches per game did Derrick Henry average?
27.
It's 24. You know how many running backs in the league averaged more than 20?
4.
2. It's him and Dalvin Cook. That's it. There were only 4 that were above 17 outside of Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. James Robinson was 6 at 17. Do you realize how many more touches that is a year?
How many?
I mean, 16 times 5 is 80. Mm-hmm. So that's every season, 4 seasons, you're basically adding an extra season. Not many running backs last 7 years.
True.
And by that theory, this would be year 7 for Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. Russell Gage. I think Russell Gage has the ability to be a wide receiver too this year. He will finish what?
Sorry, I got blood coming out of my ear.
I think with the attention that Kyle Pitts is going to get, Calvin Ridley's going to get, that's going to leave Russell Gage open a lot. And I think Matt Ryan can turn him into a top. I'll say that 24 is too high. I'll say top 30. A top 30 wide receiver this year.
Still too high.
You think so?
Can he be better than he was last year? Julio Jones was hurt half of the year. They literally didn't have a living, breathing target outside of Calvin Ridley. Mm-hmm. Can he be better than that? I would say no.
I think he can.
I would say no. He was wide receiver 37 last year. Mm-hmm. Do you realize who wide receiver 24 last year was?
No clue. Curtis
Samuel. One spot ahead of DJ Moore. One spot ahead of Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Russell Gage ain't that good. I can somewhat get down as you figured out what you had said and went, no, maybe not that high.
No, 24 was too high. But I think top 30 is not out of the realm of possibilities. With another game this season to play, I think he could get somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, 130 targets. I don't think that's too far out of the realm.
130 targets, Jesus.
How many did he have last year?
I'm getting ready to tell you.
108.
108 in a season where Julio Jones missed half the year.
Mm-hmm. And now he has no Julio Jones. And he's got Kyle Pitts. Exactly.
Yeah. Who's not going to miss half the year because he's a 22-year-old freak of nature. And you got Mike Davis, who's a running back that's going to get targets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out on anything more than I think he's a high upside 4. I would have him in I think in my projections, I have Russell Gage 42. That's about where I'm.
That's your ceiling?
Maybe I'm a hair low,
Yeah.
but I don't think I am.
That's your ceiling? And now, I'm not saying this is where you need to draft him. I'm saying this is where I think he might finish up.
Wide receiver's so damn deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so damn deep that I can't get down with that.
Okay.
Let's see. Right now, Russell Gage is going as oh boy, wide receiver 57. He shouldn't be that low,
That's
but
too
I'm
low.
gonna be honest with you. I'm looking at the guys in front of him. I mean, who the fuck would I take him over?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like the opportunity cost. Cole Beasley's not a guy I buy into. I don't buy into Mecole Hardman. I would take him over Devontae Parker. And then I take him over Marquise Brown. I take him over Will Fuller. I take him over Antonio Brown. So that's 6. That's 6 that I would no doubt take him over, and he's at 50. So yeah, I mean he's going as the 50th best wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be a value where you get him.
Exactly.
But there's another wide receiver that I see. I see that's in vaguely that same area, and I'm pretty fond of him.
Elijah Moore.
Well, that's just a given. You said his name wrong. Future Super Bowl champion, 2021 Rookie of the Year, Elijah Moore.
Only if he gets traded to the Buccaneers.
Not quite. He has a fantastic quarterback and the hottest mom in the NFL on his team.
Was that the guy that you were talking about?
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton.
Fact or fiction, Carson Wentz, if healthy, is a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers? The answer is yes.
The fifth.
The answer is yes. Just stop that. It's injuries and you know it. Last 6 weeks of 2020, where did T.Y. Hilton finish among wide receivers in PPR?
Don't know.
He was 13. He was a borderline wide receiver 1 the last 6 weeks of the year. You know why? Because he got healthy. And everybody's losing their shit about Michael Pittman. And, Michael Pittman's going to be so good. And I love him. I'm one of them. Love me some Michael Pittman. In that same 6-week stretch, 7-game, 6-week stretch, where did Michael Pittman finish? T.Y. was 13.
40.
59.
Wow.
T.Y. Hilton is currently going right in front of Russell Gage. Let me say that one more time. T.Y. Hilton, who is the one in Indianapolis, the one is going in the 50s. I have him on damn near every team I've drafted. Because I keep getting him in the 13th round. Like, well, that's fun. That's just hunky-dunky.
So the last 6 weeks of the season last year went really well for him. That's good to know, but he just hasn't been the same in 2 years. And I have my doubts. I have my doubts about T.Y. Hilton.
Even with where you're drafting him.
Oh, no. 13th round is dumb drafting. Yes. I'm saying I don't know if I can get down with he's going to be the one. I guess because I believe so much in Michael Pittman and the upside that he gives.
So you said he's been T.Y.'s been down for 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, points per game. Do you know he was behind that second year that you're talking about? You know who he was right around? Odell Beckham Jr., A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton. Those are 3 of the 6 directly in front of him. He missed time. It's not that he's been unproductive when he's been on the field. He's had some bad games. He also had a new quarterback and was in a new system. Well, it's now a system that he's in year 3. And he seems to be healthy. I'm all aboard the T.Y. Hilton hype train.
Okay. Good for you.
Jason Trump asked how many of those games were in the division. That's a hell of a question. I don't have the answer to that, but I can have it very quickly.
Yeah, I would be wondering. I would be concerned if this is a David Montgomery type situation where they just played god awful secondaries that last part of the season, and that's why his numbers went up.
Titans, Texans, Colts, Texans, Steelers, Jaguars. Not great, not terrible.
Yeah, but I mean the Titans were one of the worst secondaries in the league last year. The Texans were god awful. Who else?
And the Packers. Sorry, it was seven game stretch. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's not like it was 3 games against the Jaguars. I mean, yeah, the Texans were shootouty, but I got news for you. Those weren't really the games that he tore it up.
That he popped in.
Had a good game against the Raiders.
Bad secondary.
I believe it. You cannot at your own leisure.
What?
You can have your Russell Gage. I'll take T.Y. Hilton. The 5th target on his own team.
If that's my choice,
I'm going to make you sit down and do projections.
I don't.
Because I think when you do that, you're going to realize some of these things that you've said don't make any sense. Unless you think Matt Ryan's throwing 5,000 yards, you should have T.Y. Hilton ahead of Russell Gage.
He's going to try to. I think they're going to try to make him. You don't think so? You don't think he will throw the ball way more? They will throw the ball way more than they run the ball?
How many times has Matt Ryan thrown 5,000 yards in his career?
Twice.
It's 0. It's not one area time.
Really? Even in the MVP year, he didn't even get there?
He was close.
Okay.
MVP year, he's at 49-44. He's 4,500 yard guy. Calvin Ridley's getting 1,300 of that. Kyle Pitts is getting 800 to 900 yards of that. Mike Davis is getting 400 to 500 yards of that. You see how quickly that gets eaten into? Mm-hmm. Because you're going to have these little ancillary pieces that pick up 200 and 300 yards that they have a game. Olamide Zacchaeus or Cordero Patterson or whoever else. They add up quick. I can't emphasize this enough. If you're not doing projections, you're doing it wrong. If you're trying to go into this and go, oh, well, I just like this guy. Well, you're just shooting blindly at a dartboard. Because if you think a guy's going to throw for 300 yards, okay, well, where's he going to throw it to? Mm-hmm. This is DraftKings theory at its finest. By the way, we will have exclusive DraftKings videos for our Patreons, starting with Week 1. And I got a good old good one for Week 1.
A good old good.
My DraftKings lineup makes my pants touch the table in one very specific place.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole shit ton of guys that are mispriced. Whole shit ton.
Look, I don't know if it's...
Elijah Moore!
I don't know if it's just sitting next to him for the last 2 years. Well, I guess a year. Doing this every day, 2 shows a day. But your Arizona Cardinals belief starting to rub off on me a little bit.
It should.
And I think this year, Kyler Murray will become the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards and rush for 1,000. What do you think?
Say that one more time.
I think Kyler Murray will become the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards and rush for 1,000 in the same season.
I can see that. That offense plays fast enough.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of plays. He's got more weapons than he's ever had. I think, and here's the other thing, with all of those weapons, it's going to leave a lot of holes in the middle of the field. And Kyler's going to be able to pick it out and go, oh, look, there's a lane. Gone. Last year, he was close.
I'm not sure that I see him with 133 rushes again, though. That's my fear. And now he added DeAndre Hopkins, and he went from, 544 to 819. Mm-hmm. And 4 touchdowns to 11. Mm-hmm. And A.J. Greene sure as hell not going to hurt that. But I could also see a path where he throws more. He's never thrown for 4,000 yards in his career.
Nope.
That's going to change.
But he threw for what, 38 last year?
39.
39.
He was right at 4,000.
Right. And you got one more game. Think about it. One more game is all you need.
Yeah.
And even if he has the shittiest game, he could have got there.
I mean, you're not wrong. I could see it.
Will he be the only one, is the question. Can Lamar,
no, I can see Lamar
do
doing
the same thing?
I can see Lamar doing it, too.
I don't know if I can get there with Lamar, though. I realize he's got better weapons, but I don't know that their game plan is going to drastically change all that much for him to be able to hit I'm not worried about the rushes. The rushes, that's done. I mean, 1,000 yards, bam, every year.
I have the rushes coming down.
Now, wait a minute. How did we flip sides on this one?
I have the rushes.
Weren't we fighting about this a couple of weeks ago where I said Lamar was going to rush less and you said no, that he's not going to change?
I'm not saying it's going to be drastically less. I'm saying I have a harder time figuring out how Lamar's going to keep rushing at 160-ish per season. I struggled about that.
I do too.
That's going to come down. That's the reason you have a Sammy Watkins. That's the reason you drafted Rashad Bateman.
Yeah. But the rushing yards, I have no worries that he's going to eclipse that 1,000 yards. It's the passing yards that gets me with Lamar. I don't know if he's capable or if his weapons are going to be healthy enough for him to get to 4,000 yards. But I do think Kyler's going to be able to do it this year.
Kyler's one I'm very fond of. I like Kyler a lot.
What are his odds to win the MVP this year? I'm just curious. I would imagine he's got to be 6th or 7th in the odds. I might even be too low on that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He is
lower than I thought.
Plus 2,500. Jameis Winston's plus 6,600.
Oh, stop that.
Cam Newton's plus 8,000 if you want to just set some money on fire.
Hot. Give me one whole doll hair. That's all I'm willing to bet on that.
Good Lord. There are actually people that bet. For it to be on this screen, somebody had to bet on it. Somebody bet on Marvin Jones to win MVP. Stop talking. Stop talking. Why are people so stupid? God, why are people so stupid? Oh, it makes me angry.
You just got to believe
God, unless that was Marvin Jones' fucking family member, then you're a damn fool.
Rob Johnson's got one. He says that there will be a team with 3,000-yard receivers this year.
I think there'll be more than one of them.
Dallas Cowboys. Who else?
Wouldn't be shocked if it's the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Robbie, DJ, and Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. I see. I wasn't thinking Christian. I was trying to think who that other Terrace Marshall.
It's not Terrace Marshall. Can we stop with Terrace Marshall? Good God.
He needs to be going in the same spot as Elijah Moore in your drafts. Just know that was the thing that Matthew Berry said.
I love Matthew Berry, but that was stupid.
Okay, I can get down with that. Christian McCaffrey and
the Steelers.
DJ Moore.
The Steelers have 3 too.
Yeah, the Steelers.
Rob Johnson
be a good
said the
candidate
Bengals. I can't get down with Jamar Chase because this is how he catches footballs. No. Like a little kid scared it's going to hit him in the face.
I think Joe Burrow is probably going to be the most disappointing quarterback in this fantasy football season.
It's very possible.
I can't.
It's very possible.
I just can't see a path. Even if he's healthy, even if he plays, I'll give him 2 games, 15 games. Say he plays a 15-game season. I still don't know that he gets 3,500 yards passing. You think so?
100% he does.
I don't know.
100% he does.
I don't know. I think it's going to be disappointing. I think every game he is going to be running for his life. He'll put up some decent stats here and there, but
you say things sometimes that make my head hurt. He played 10 games last year. Is this team better or worse than it was last year? Offensively.
It's better. Not by much.
He had 2,700 yards in 10 games. You tell me he gets to 15, he'll be over 4,000 easily.
I don't know. I think he's going to disappoint greatly.
I thought I was down on him. Again, this is why we need you doing projections. Because you're going to have to explain to me how you think he's going to be worse than he was last year. With an added weapon. It doesn't make any sense to me. And the line's better. It's not good, but it's better than it was last year. I'd rather have Riley Reef than, God, what the hell did they throw on the left side last year? Just bad. I've mentally burned the tape
Jonah
in my head.
Williams.
Jonah Williams didn't play, but I don't know that he played at all. Jonah Williams is one of those guys I've talked so much shit about that I forget when he played the 10 games.
They still have
he's
Bobby
played his career.
Hart. Was that?
He played 10 games last year.
Okay.
Bobby Hart. That was the
Bobby
one I
Hart.
was trying to think of.
I don't. I'm not putting any stock into Joe Burrow this year.
Yeah, I think you're grossly wrong.
And that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I think you're wrong about Derrick Henry.
If I were you, I'd agree with me.
I don't think they're going to have a 3,000-yard receivers, though.
No, I don't either. That's what I was. That's actually how we started talking about this. Is I don't buy Jamar Chase. I don't buy Jamar Chase.
Minnesota?
Who's the third?
Yeah, no.
Unless you got a special third friend in there, I don't think Chad Beebe's catching 1,000 yards.
Irv Smith. You love Irv Smith so
I do
much.
love Irv
1,000
Smith.
yards. Let's do
He
it.
ain't getting that much work. You told me he was getting that much work, he'd be my tight end on every team.
I thought he already was.
He will be now that Adam Troutman's dead. Damn it! Damn the devil. Fuck, I hate preseason. God, we just got 2 more weeks. And we have charity best ball leagues, and you can gamble against me. Just have to use the link in the description of this video, and I cannot wait to do this all season long.
Any more hot takes before we
I have
bounce out of here?
I have plenty, but we talked about the others a lot, so guess we'll be getting some of those tomorrow.
All right, join us tomorrow right here in the Wicked Weed studio for the Sportsocracy, live every weekday morning at 10 a.m. We'll be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere live or on demand on the iHeart Radio app, 3 to 5 weekday afternoons.
By the way, we're going to do grade the team at some point in the next couple of days. So if you have a fantasy football team that you want us to grade, screenshot it and send it in to us. Just know, I've never been accused of being the nicest fucking person that you've ever seen in your life.
No one is expecting that from you, just so you know.
No, Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
All right, we'll see you this afternoon on the radio side back here tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great day.